crystal back over to the same furnace then, just here on the right hand side of the room. And again, it'll just be left in there for a few short moments as it's heated up further. Now once the crystal has been heated sufficiently, he's done shaping this piece of crystal, it's going to go down inside the bowl. He's going to begin to blow down into the blowing iron, which is the long pole attached to the crystal. This expands out the crystal to fill up the shape of the bowl. It creates a hollow in the piece and also decides how thick the piece is going to be as well. Crystal is starting to take the shape of the bowl. Now the piece of crystal visible to you at the moment is called the cap. This cap is an excess piece of crystal. The only function of it is to attach the blowing iron to the actual vase that they're blowing. So it's just to prevent the crystal from sticking to the edges of the bowl because it is still very hot at this stage. So once the at this stage. So you'll keep it rotating here then for a few moments. And straight ahead of the platform, you'll see the whole crystal up now, and he's going to walk then down to the right hand side of the room. So you'll see the finished piece here. So this is going to be a vase. It's upside down in its hand, and this bulbous piece around the top will be to room temperature. And because this could be blown yesterday, but they still have the cap intact when they get to this stage. So this is where they'll remove that cap using a diamond saw. This is the blue and white one you can see on either side of the belt. And because they are using a saw, they use the crystal quite rough and sharp air bubbles or piece of dirt on the furnace that may become lodged inside the crystal. Now if they do find any problems with the crystal, along with the excess piece that they remove, these can all get broken down, put back inside the furnace and melted down again to make new crystal. That way then you don't actually waste any of the crystal we produce here in the factory. You'll also see in the back of the factory just these large white
you went for everything. I was thinking of it. Eventually get to it.
I don't know. I like it. Draw this grid, you'll see the markers just beside you here. They're all aligned to a certain height. As you turn the base, for this grid, it's a reference point for the cutters down below, so they can keep all the cuts around the same shape and size around the whole piece of crystal. They don't need the whole pattern on the piece we made for the Olympics last year in London. The drawing in on the right then, it's the Hershey's Kiss. We're making 7 of these for the Hershey's Chocolate Factory. You'll see the beginning of one of those here on the shelf. Just along the rim of the piece up here. The second one then is the wedge cut, which is what's all along the base of the bowl down here. And there are many variations on these two types of cuts, but these are the two main types that will make up all of our patterns. I'll just pass this around if you'd like to take a look. Now the men are using industrial diamond wheels to cut the crystal. It won't cut skin, so it is quite safe for them to work with. Now the constant flow of water over the wheel is just to keep the crystal cool while the men are trying to work with it. The men themselves decide how much pressure to apply. If they apply too much, they break the crystal and have to start again. If they don't apply enough, they don't get the effect on the piece that they want. And I'll let you know when we're moving down then to the next one.
So the apprenticeship for what he's doing is 5 years long, and there is a bowl that they have to complete with about 600 different cuts in it to pass. And if they do not get it right, they're asked to leave the program or to start the whole process over again.
Là, c'est de la découpe numérique, là. C'est la découpe numérique.
Engraving area. Now these men here will train for 10 years. They have an extra 2 they have to do in our college. Now you'll see the copper wheels on his bench here. This is what he'll use to put all the fine details and drawings onto the piece of crystal. Now the type of engraving we do here, it's called intaglio. It means reverse in Italian. Basically it means the deeper the cut into the crystal they make, the more that feature stands out towards you, giving it a 3D effect. The shallower the cut, the more in the background it will appear to be. Now you'll see an example on the piece just here. This piece on the table here in front of you at the very corner of the table. You'll see it's on a base. Also on the table you'll find the Coke and the Pepsi bottles and some Christmas pieces as well that the men are working on at the moment. Now some of you our crystal is placed into an acid bath for an hour. It literally burns off the layer of crystal and leaves the piece clear and sparkling like you can see here.
A larger copy of this was donated to a firehouse in New York for 9/11. The Blarney Castle.